Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports. Oh, thank you so much for joining us as usual. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Whisman.
And thank you guys so much. It's been a really fun week for us. Been a big week for us.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. We've had a good week, and we're happy about it. Please, first of all, just before anything, just want to remind you guys, please rate and review on iTunes. So huge. A couple of you out there followed instructions, and you said so
that's my favorite part.
Yeah, let's make that our thing. Where if you do a review, at some point it just say I'm following instructions or something like that, and it's kind of a little like a tag
my
for
balls
us.
Off.
Yeah, so we all know. That's just beautiful. You guys are
Especially
awesome.
the mailman saying
that was fantastic.
Right.
Thank you guys so much. First of all, also, too, we have got a cool little thing in the Huffington Post UK this week, which was really cool with some podcasts that the person was obsessed over.
Top 5.
Chandra Garani.
Fuck yeah.
I love that person. Chandra Garani, you are my favorite.
Top
we love
5.
You.
We made number 5. I'll take
there's some heavy hitters on there.
Yeah.
We were really cool. We were like, wow, these people have no idea that we don't belong there. But it's terrific. You like the show, and so we love you. We'll take it. So we do belong there. Fuck that.
Yeah.
We're happy. All right.
Also,
to the Audio Boom VP of Marketing, Jeremy Helton. Thank you for the little shout out.
You guys fucking great.
Audio Boom's great. Anybody who's a podcaster out there, you're looking for a nice home, Audio Boom is the place for you. Those people are just so awesome, great. So supportive of podcasts, and have helped us really get off the ground
tremendously
and get a terrific little fun thing here going. Also, too, if you guys feel like, and this is no big deal if you don't, just we have a Patreon page. Patreon.com. You find us on there, and you can donate. And there's some cool stuff you can get, like that we'll give you, and we'll kind of do some neat stuff.
You're buying something.
You're buying. There's and you're just supporting us, supporting the show. But don't worry about that.
There's no pressure.
The show is 100% free, and we love you. And just sit back and relax. But if you feel like throwing us a couple bucks, go ahead. If you hit a certain number there's a cool thing where we will do an episode about you or anyone you choose. You give us the information. We'll do one about your friend. It'll be like a little 10-minute episode, and we'll break some balls.
Talk about his tiny dick.
Let's see here. A funny thing happened, by the way. Funny thing. We got a message today from Catherine Bell. What is it? Catherine Bell.
Is it Butler?
Butler, yes. Yeah. And I guess her cousin's girlfriend is Sally McNeil. Our girl Sally from episode, I believe, 8.
Dating Sally.
Love steroids and pistol grip shotguns. The Ballad of Sally McNeil. And I guess her mom went with her cousin to see Sally in prison. And the mother said, quote, "No surprise, she's a whack job." So we know that person in real life.
I want to know if her cousin gets her, like, little shotguns on little chocolate shotguns on Valentine's Day.
Wow. I think I'll go out with this lady. You know, she shot at her ex-husband. She threw weights at the guy. She actually killed another ex-husband.
Damn good woman.
She's a good woman. Mustang Sally. So yeah, go back and listen to Sally McNeil if you want to know what we're talking about, because she's a trip, boy.
Outside of that, thank you guys all for all the support lately. This has been a really fun ride. So thank you guys so much.
We don't know how to take it.
Yeah, Jack Preston and everybody on Twitter.
All of our friends. Thank you guys.
I don't have enough time. Let's get into this.
Also, too, all right, let's get into this. This here, tonight we have, an interesting fella, let's say, Jimmy. He is not a nice man.
No.
There's even an article that I read called Mel Hall is Not a Nice Man. That's the name of the article. That's how much he's not a nice man.
And we're getting to him at week 16.
And it's Mel Hall, guys. Mel Hall.
Not Gibson.
No. Back to the major leagues, Major League Baseball, back to the U.S. for this one. Also, if you didn't listen to last week, Evangelos Koussis, go back and check him out, because, man, was that a trip story. That was just, wow, that guy's a psychopath, and it was crazy.
My wife even giggled about the Vampire Gigolo. That's a fun nickname.
There's a character in it, and this is a real person. I say a character like it's a book called The Vampire Gigolo.
Yeah.
That's so, I mean, come on.
That's what he calls himself.
So not Goose, another man that was
the guy that he murdered,
met his demise.
Right. Did not meet his 201st birthday.
So Mel Hall.
Yes.
Holy shit, Jimmy. This guy, I mean, we've had our scum. We've had our scum and we've had our scum.
We just ran down a few of them. Go on.
This is a worse guy than Eddie Johnson. Okay? Wow. He's worse than Eddie Johnson.
That's tough to do.
Because Eddie Johnson, until his final crime, where you're just like, okay, you are irredeemable, you're a piece of shit, throw away the key, fuck him. Before that, he's kind of a guy who was a drug problem.
Right.
He's a smart, talented guy, right. and he does things where you're like, come on, Eddie, how stupid are you? But he's got a bad drug problem. Right. Mel Hall cannot blame this on drugs. There's nothing to blame this on.
He's just a piece of shit. He's just a bad seed.
He is a piece of shit, everything he did.
Mel is not a good guy.
Guys, buckle up, because this is a tale of just a complete idiocy and some horrible, horrible crime at the end that's just awful that we'll get to, and stick around. The whole thing's crazy.
Fantastic.
But let's get into it, guys. What do you say?
Here we go.
All right. Melvin Hall Jr. What a goddamn shocker, huh? Another junior. Guys.
How is that possible?
People, stop naming your kids after yourself. I'm going to say it just once. You never know what they're going to turn out to be.
Junior's not a good thing.
You never know.
No.
It's if you have a boy, he could kill people, or worse, like Mel Hall. It could happen. If you have a girl, what's the worst that could really? She's probably not going to kill anyone. Although if she does kill someone, it could be a huge news, big news story, because it'll be like her beauty pageant winning daughter, something like that. But Melvin Hall Jr., he's born in September 16th, 1960, in Lyons, New York. He grows up.
Is that rural?
It's way rural. This place where he grows up, it is in Montezuma, New York, which is 30 miles east of Syracuse. Which, if you don't know New York, the state of New York, as you know what it looks like.
Kind of like a boot at the bottom, and then like almost like a backward Idaho that's smaller at the top.
That's a complicated way of saying it. The little tip at the bottom is New York City, and there's the rest of it. This is right smack in the middle of the meaty, fatty part. Yeah, this is where it snows feet at a time, and all the towns are basically college towns.
Right.
And he grew up in Montezuma, New York. I guess the Halls were one of the very few black families that lived in the area, which is not surprising for such a rural area. His father in every article was called a muck farmer, which I don't know if you farm muck or what.
Is that like a
I don't know if
While you talk, I'm going to Google it, because that sounds like
farming, I guess. I don't know what it is.
That sounds like somebody that farms like manure.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he played in his father also briefly played in the Cincinnati Reds organization. So baseball talent is flowing through the family here. Mother worked in a factory. He grew up poor, super poor, as Mel Hall puts it. Let's do the earliest in their own words ever here.
All right.
Mel Hall talking about his poorness. We were so poor we had ice for supper. We spelled poor with one O because we ate the other one. I signed my first contract in dirt.
Holy shit.
So that's how poor Mel Hall was.
Oh my God, we spelled poor with one O.
Because we ate the other one. Not we couldn't afford it, like the old saying goes.
That's the funniest goddamn thing. And, so a muck farmer, you're farming soil. It's dried swamps. It's where... the soil is the soil is very fertile because it's just shit that's broken down. At
least Eddie Johnson's dad was picking fucking citrus and shit that people wanted to eat. This guy's not even.
Goose's dad had a trade, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, this is terrible.
This guy's just waiting for swamps to dry out and digging shit up.
No surprise they were poor.
Yeah.
He goes to Cayuga High School.
You telling me muck isn't expensive?
No, not muck. It's Port Byron, New York here. It's in Port Byron High School. He played high school baseball, football, and basketball. So he's an athlete. And if you look at the guy, you can tell he's an athlete.
6 foot.
I mean, he's sculpted 6 foot, 185. Yeah. And he had like...
I'm 5'8", 185. I'm a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, compared to him, pretty much everybody is. He was just one of these real ripped, like he looked like he had like 2 cantaloupes in his pants for an ass.
Jesus.
Like he couldn't walk right because his ass was so like weird.
I'm fucking hard as shit right now. Go on.
He was. I bet you are, Jimmy. He was a sexy man. He had the finest Jerry curl in all of sports. The finest.
Fucking Jerry curl.
It was a Jerry curl mullet of such proportions that, I mean, the angels sung from the heavens when they saw this Jerry curl mullet.
The Jerry curl for people overseas is the equivalent. The black people's mullet. That's basically what it is.
And he had a mullet. It was in the shape of a mullet.
Oh my God. It's the most embarrassing haircut.
It's a wet curly. It's curly and wet.
Yeah.
Coming to America.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Soul Glow. That's what we're talking
and
about
House Party.
Yeah,
the guy that would lean against the wall and leave a mark.
He looked like Soul Glow. That's what he looked like, except without the mustache. He's a great athlete. I mean, absolutely crushes it in high school. He's one of the best players ever to come out of the central Western New York area, apparently, in that central New York.
All kinds of promise.
Yeah, I mean, he's also got a few problems.
In high school he did?
Couple of problems. High school teammates said that he impregnated 2 girls by the time he was a senior in high school. So that's an issue. Mel likes the ladies and the girls and any female that he can encounter.
Got a giner, he wants it.
He wants all fucking over it.
So did he impregnate them, or did he have kids?
Yeah, no, he apparently impregnated these girls. I don't know if he had it taken care of or whatever the hell happened, but he had
They found some icy steps in November in upstate New York.
We never know how many kids Mel Hall has fathered, by the way. The Texas authorities, when after everything comes down, tried to piece together his lineage and his paternal, pool of muck that he farmed himself like his dad, and they said their best guess estimate is about 8 kids, but they're not positive.
Wow.
They said at least 8 kids that they can figure out, maybe more. Who the fuck knows? As we hear this guy's exploits,
he is fucking steady fucking.
He is drafted into the MLB out of high school. I mean, he's drafted.
Wow, he didn't even have to go to college?
No, he's drafted. He's drafted by the Cubs in the 2nd round of the '78 draft.
That's pretty impressive.
Oh, he was a beast in high school. I mean, you looked at him and went, "Wow, this is going to be somebody." So, I mean, he's not a Chad Curtis. He's not one of these guys. Not even a Lenny Dykstra. He's like the reverse Lenny Dykstra as a player. Dykstra drafted late. Played way over his potential. This is a reverse situation.
Drafted high, plays like shit.
Plays less than his potential. He plays for the Cubs first. He plays for 13 seasons in the MLB.
We said his position. Say it again.
He's like a left fielder, right fielder, outfielder of whatever platooning, whatever who they need that day because he's not good enough to have his own position. We'll go through his baseball stats real quick and then kind of go through his timeline because everything's going to kind of intersect.
Understood.
But we'll just get the stats out of the way.
I love it.
And his career, and then we'll go into some fun shit in his career too, which is wow, was he crazy? And there's some amazing shit. And I don't want to, clab that with numbers. So he's drafted by the Cubs, like I said. He plays for the Cubs, makes his MLB debut on September 3rd, 1981 at the age of 20. He cruised right through the minors, too.
That's amazing.
Doesn't play much 81, 82. 83 is his full rookie year because you have to have a certain number of at-bats to be considered
starting rotation
to be considered not a rookie the next year.
Oh, okay.
You're a rookie you can play a bunch of years. You can play a bunch of years and always be a rookie until you have a certain amount of at-bats in a year. And then that you're not a rookie anymore. So 83, he has a big year in 83, decent. He's third in the National League Rookie of the Year voting.
How about that?
Which is great, behind Darryl Strawberry, number 1. So, I mean...
Who was number 2?
Craig McMurdy, an Atlanta pitcher with a career record of 28 and 42. So,
Sounds like he didn't pan out.
Had a good year the rookie year, and then it kind of went to shit.
And he was like, I didn't get Rookie of the Year. Fuck it, I quit.
You're not going to beat Darryl.
No.
Darryl was a monster. So, he goes, he plays for he gets traded from Cleveland to the Yankees. This is pretty interesting. In 84, he gets traded with Joe Carter and Don Schultz. That Joe Carter that hit the game-winning home run in the World Series from the Blue Jays. He's traded for George Frazier, Ron Hasse. Oh God, if you remember those '80s, just Ron Hasse he was like a Dan Pasqua. It was Ron Hasse and Dan Pasqua and these shitty White Sox.
Name.
He was just a kind of doughy white guy, just miserable. He kind of had a white Jerry Curl looking thing too. And
Carter is the one that hit the home run.
Yeah, 92 Blue Jays
against
Mitch
the Phillies
Williams,
that ruined Mitch Williams.
Also involved in this deal, going to Cleveland, Rick Sutcliffe.
Yeah.
So Rick Sutcliffe was huge at that point. He ended up going to the Cubs. He ended up being a Cy Young Award winner for the Cubs. Sutcliffe is still on baseball tonight,
deal.
MLB TV or whatever the hell he's on.
Still talking.
89 he goes to the Yankees, and we'll get into why that happened. And then he ends up playing in Japan and in San Francisco.
Gotcha.
Made $6.3 million in his career.
That's great.
So pretty good for the 80s, 90s.
That's fantastic.
Career stat line: 276 average, 318 slugging, 134 homers, 620 ribbies, 1,171 hits, 437 slugging. So I mean, decent. He had his moments. 86 is his best season.
Yeah.
Hit 296,
he
18
played from
homers.
81 to 96?
Yeah.
He had a 15-year career.
Well, no, because he was in Japan for like 4 of those years too. But he made more money in Japan
than he did in the majors.
He made another $4 to $5 million in Japan.
Holy shit!
So you can say he made about $10 million in his whole career.
Mel Hall figured it out.
He figured it out. His best year, like I said, was 86 with the 18 homers, 77 RBI. He walks about half as much as he strikes out. He's one of those guys, kind of a free swinger.
A slugger. He's a
slugger. Yeah, he goes,
for the fence.
Like I said, 93, he gets tired of the Yankees. We'll get into that whole thing, why. Gets traded, or ends up signing a contract with Japan. Nobody wanted him over here for Chiba Latte, and he's a beast over there. It's 30 home runs his first year there.
I can imagine.
Yeah, he's a monster.
6 foot, 280-pound black, or 180-pound black guy. Crushing little Asians.
Yeah, the ball's different there, and the field's different too. It's a power friendly.
It's not coming at the velocity that it is from Americans. I've seen BK Young pitch. Motherfucker can't pitch for shit.
He's throwing 84. But then again, there's also plenty of others that so who knows. But at 96, he comes back and gets 25 at bats for the San Francisco Giants. Gets 3 hits. Miserable. And I actually know a guy. 25 at bats and 3 hits. I know a guy who played with him on that team.
Really?
He was on those 96 Giants, and he just said, "What a fucking loon." So he's one of the craziest son of a bitches he's ever played with. I remember asking him about him because I always thought he was an interesting guy growing up looking at him. And he said he was crazy, and they had to sneak him into Canada because he had a criminal record, and he was just known as a general nutcase.
They're smuggling players.
So when they played the Expos, they had to
smuggling to play the Expos.
They were like, Mel's not allowed in Canada. So it's hard to get signed with a team when you're not allowed in one of the countries they play in. You know what I'm saying?
That's so awesome. They're midnight expressing him into play baseball.
Pretty much, yeah. He signed a 2-year, $4 million contract for Japan, and then he's had one more year in Japan where I think he made $1 million a year.
That's great.
Tried to come back in 2002 and 2003, which I don't know what the frig he was thinking. What do you think?
7 years later.
7 years later, and the things that he went through too. Oh boy! So he tries to come back with the Fort Worth Cats, the Springfield Ozark Mountain Ducks. Which that's a historic organization.
It's a top team.
There's the Yankees, there's the Pittsburgh Steelers,
and those Mountain Ducks,
the Boston Celtics, the LA Lakers, and the Springfield Ozark Mountain Ducks. Those are the first storied franchises in sports. And the Coastal Bend Aviators.
I want one of those jerseys.
Or in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Who would take up the whole front of the jersey to write all that?
Yeah, it's almost as good as that shit league Jason Williams played in. Hall, he is just a character, man. He's such an asshole and such a character that he's so much fun. He's like a character from a major league movie.
Yeah.
Just like, whoa, this guy's crazy. Yeah. And then it gets not as fun anymore. We'll tell you when that happens, and we won't need to tell you. He once told a group of reporters that he had a brother at Attica Prison. No one knows if that's true or not, by the way. That's never been confirmed. No one even thought that. His brother was like a really good baseball player in high school in the same area. He said, quote, "He keeps asking me to come up and see him, and I told him I'll see him when he gets out." So, real sentimental guy there with his brother.
He just brings up this weird brother that nobody's ever heard of, and then he just throws that shit out. I'll see him whenever I see him.
That's all when you get out, pal.
What about how about you've had 3 hits and 25 at bats? Let's talk about that. No, let me tell you about my brother.
I got a brother in Attica. This was like in the 80s. He just brought it up. A bunch of reporters around. He's like, "I got a brother in Attica." And they're like, "I guess this is news."
They're like, "What the fuck?"
I'm going to write this down. Everybody
strange.
get the recorder. He named his glove Lucille, like fucking B.B. King's guitar.
Like he's got a cherry Mustang in the garage.
He likes nicknames. Yeah, he likes nicknames because he nicknamed himself, again, self-nicknaming.
Awesome. Yeah.
So far, our 2 self-nicknames are the Gorilla Pimp and the Vampire Gigolo.
This isn't going to go well.
This isn't going to be as good. He nicknamed himself, quote, the Gunfighter. Not much of an imagination on him here. He's not a bright guy, Mel Hall, as we'll see. This is when he was with the Indians, because he was the self-proclaimed enforcer of the team during fights. Like, baseball fights are happening all the time. That once a year when they all came out, he's the enforcer.
He's the one.
He's
praying for somebody to charge Robin Yount.
Please. He wore multiple pairs of batting gloves in his back pocket with the fingers out.
What the fuck?
To, quote, wave bye-bye to baseballs after a home run.
Oh. What, are you going to moon the ball? It's in your back pocket, you fuck.
He's a fucking idiot. Interesting things start to happen here. 1985, he's in a car accident in Arlington, Texas. While in the car, and actually he was the passenger, Mel Hall, driving with Indians traveling secretary Mike Segee. And Hall was seriously injured in 85, ruined his season. He only played 23 games in 85. He missed the rest of the year. He had like broken collarbone, messed up pelvis. He was all fucked up.
Those 85 cars aren't near as strong as they are now.
No. So,
well, they were stronger. That's the problem.
Segee was driving. This was in 85, and keep that in mind because that's going to come back in a fun way here. Because by the time he gets to 1987, he's sued for child support by his ex-wife at this point. He also his insurance company sues Segee, the team's traveling secretary, for the car accident in 85. So there's a reporter named Ray Stubblebine who writes an article about this in the Sunday paper in 87. And then that afternoon, he comes into the clubhouse, he's the beat reporter for the team. Comes into the clubhouse, day of the article, and he's told by the manager, Pat Corrales, you better get out of here. There's a bounty on your head.
The enforcer, the gunslinger's coming for you.
Gunslinger's coming. He's got his batting gloves hanging out of his pocket. Shit's about to go down. So this guy, this poor son of a bitch here, this guy goes to leave the clubhouse. He's like, well, I'm out of here. Then Mel Hall's a psychopath, obviously. I'm going to leave. Just as he's leaving, Mel Hall enters. Perfect timing. Yeah. Hall goes on a curse-filled tirade on the guy. He said for what seemed like a half hour, doesn't know how long it was, he said he just took it and took it and took it. And finally, when he tried to interject, Stubblebine tries to interject, he said, next thing I knew I was in the bottom of a locker with Mel Hall on top of me and Otis Nixon trying to pull him off of me. So he just fucking attacks this guy, and Otis Nixon, who looks like an alien with no skin.
Isn't he a shortstop? He's a tiny guy?
He looks like somebody took a normal human being, stuck like a turkey baster in him, and sucked all the air out. He's the scariest looking person ever. He looks like he died 3 days ago.
Maybe he was a first baseman.
He's an outfielder.
Is he an outfielder?
A little skinny outfielder. He played for the Braves,
played for the A's too, right?
I don't remember if he played for the A's, but he played for those really good Braves teams in the early '90s and things like that. He was one of those guys.
Amazing rotation of pitchers.
Exactly. After the game, apparently, Mel Hall laughed about it to the other reporters, acted like it was no big deal.
I would too.
Hey, I attacked the reporter. That's normal. The beat reporter for the fucking, that's a normal thing to do.
Stubblebine's in a room icing himself right now.
Another reporter said, quote, he quote, oozed a casual recklessness.
That's a good description of it.
He does. That's
writer wrote that? That's
a writer
beautiful.
wrote that. It is a beautiful oozed.
Oozed a casual recklessness.
In 1989, here's where, we start to see
it goes from casual to just fucking reckless.
No, it's just stupid. This is just stupid. This isn't even criminal. This is just
reckless.
Just life stupid here. Okay. 1989, they're in Tucson. Cleveland used to train in Tucson. If you guys remember in Major League in the beginning of it, when everyone's coming to camp, they were at High Corbett Field in Tucson. That's where they are here. There's a hotel that all the team wives and family are staying at and everything. He gets his wife and his girlfriend both rooms in the same hotel.
Jesus Christ.
What could go wrong? Right? This is normal. That's what you do. I mean, that's not even... If you're going to be a scumbag and be a player or whatever, that's one thing. But this isn't even trying.
Didn't the running back from the Bears, what was his name? The real fucking...
Walter Payton?
Walter Payton. I believe at his Hall of Fame acceptance speech, he had his wife and his fucking Gumar sitting right next to each other.
Hey, you know what?
But he's not Walter Payton, is my point.
Walter Payton is a beautiful man. He's a smooth,
but this motherfucker isn't Walter Payton. You don't get to just rub it in your wife's face.
He's like the third greatest football player in the history of the league of all time. This guy's a douchebag and a jerk-off.
This is Mel Hall.
This guy is a platoon outfielder who is fighting for time with Jesse Barfield.
Who's putting his fucking girlfriend up in the in 112 and his wife's in 111.
So... what ends up happening is they run into each other down at the pool.
Yeah.
They get into a huge brawl with each other, a big physical altercation right in front of the general manager's granddaughter.
Teaching her all kinds of new words.
Oh, they're pulling each other's hair.
You trifling bitch.
There's a fucking weave caught in the pool filter. This place is a disaster.
And she's asking Grandpa, what does trifling mean?
I picture a little girl with pigtails and a big lollipop, just scared shitless.
With a couple of freckles on each cheek.
Can't get out of the locked gate, and she's shaking it, going, Grandpa, Mel Hall's bitches are miscarrying me.
I just wanted a hot dog and cotton candy.
God, make it stop. So, unsurprisingly, a few days later, March 19th, he's traded to the Yankees. Have a good one, Mel Hall. What do you expect?
Take your bitches to New York.
Unreal.
That's awesome.
He's traded for Joel Skinner and Turner Ward, and God, I don't remember Turner Ward, but Joel Skinner sucked dick. He was
that's
so
how much
lousy.
They don't give a fuck about him and his bitches.
He was so bad, yeah.
We'll take anything. You got anything, we'll take it.
When he gets to New York, I don't know if, because he made a little more money in New York because his contract, he was in a little longer in the league. And I don't know if it was the money, if he was, in New York, if that just let the crazy out of the box, or if, it's the media in New York paid attention more than the media in Cleveland, where as long as he wasn't tackling you into a locker, you're going to be pretty cool about his weirdness.
I'll bet it's the sprinkling of both.
It could be everything, but he loses his shit when he goes to New York. He starts acting like a maniac. He's a product of his environment, and it's reported on. I think that's what it is. It really goes wackadoo here. This is when shit starts to get nuts. He at one point here says he wants to fight Mike Tyson. He wants to fight Mike Tyson.
At this point, your biggest bout is Mr. Stubblefield or Stubblebine. That's your biggest fight to date.
Tyson. Yeah, he's in good shape. Mike Tyson was the toughest man on earth at this point. Right now, after everything that's happened, and if there was a Patreon page to give Mike Tyson money to beat the shit out of Mel Hall and we could all watch it, we would all donate money. I would pay to watch Mike Tyson beat the shit out of Mel Hall. At this current time.
I paid money to see Mike Tyson beat the shit out of anybody.
But he was confident. He thought he could beat Tyson. He said, quote, when God made my body, he made something good.
Oh, boy.
In their own words, buddy, right there. Wow. That's what he thought of himself. He gets into an altercation.
Let's just say this. If God did make something good, don't put it on the line in the ring with the toughest man on earth.
Mike Tyson break it into 600 pieces.
When God made this, he made something great. I'm going to go ruin it against Mike Tyson.
Seen a picture of Mitch Green? Guys, look up a picture of Mitch Green Tyson. Just look that up. It looks like somebody hit somebody with a semi-truck, and then they took a picture of him real quick, and that was just Mike Tyson punching the guy one time. You don't fight Mike Tyson.
No.
It's
the man
insane.
He's a bad man.
He's a bad man. Mel Hall's a terrible man, but he's not bad in that sense. He's an idiot. On the field too. He hits silly. He's one of these guys that's just not a smart hitter. He's a fucking idiot. He's a really free swinger. Like I said, walks half as much as he strikes out. I remember just being so frustrated with him. He had this cool stance where he kind of leaned back and he had his back kind of wagging and he kind of looked. When you saw him, you go, wow, I bet that guy's the best hitter in the league. If you never saw baseball,
it's like Julio Franco.
You go, whoa, I bet he looks like on point. You go, wow, I bet this guy's great. And then he hits 240. He's just one of these guys with 13 home runs and 68 RBI because that's kind of just what he did. His teammates called him Sluggo to pick on him in New York. So I guess he just was swinging at everything. He starts being a real dick here. He starts in with Bernie Williams. If you know who Bernie Williams is an all-time great Yankee. Yeah. Terrific switch hitting, one of the best switch hitters of all time. 4 rings. I mean, I think he is still the only man and was the first man in a Major League history to win a batting title, Gold Glove, and World Series ring in the same year, 98.
Is that right?
Only man up until, I knew he still was up until at least 5 years ago. I don't know if maybe somebody did it in the last 5 years, but so Bernie's a great Yankee, but at this point he's a rookie. He comes up, he wouldn't let him talk. Bernie was not allowed to talk. Mel Hall, every time Bernie Williams would open his mouth, he would say, "Shut up, Zero," because he said he meant nothing to the team because he was a rookie. Because basically he was an outfielder that was then pushing another outfielder into another position and pushing Mel Hall out to fucking Japan, and he knew that, so he was didn't like him. And every time Bernie would try to talk, he'd just keep chanting 0, 0.
Wow.
Total dick. He taped Mr. Zero over his name, over his locker in the clubhouse.
Just hazing him.
And Bernie Williams, if you ever seen an interview with him or anything, he's a really nice... He's
always smiling.
He plays jazz guitar.
Yeah.
He wears like thin glasses and plays jazz guitar. He's just a real laid-back dude. He's just not a guy that you really would mess with. Steinbrenner got mad at him because his jerry curls were so long, Mel Hall, which is great because this was the time when Don Mattingly and Steinbrenner had a big beef over Mattingly's mullet. And
because the boys in pinstripes are clean cut.
Yeah,
you shave your face and you cut your hair.
For some reason, the jerry curl, I don't know if he put a little extra applicator tight or a little less, had it tightened up so it was a little shorter.
Deion Sanders was able to have his too, right?
Then Deion Sanders is going to come back also because Deion Sanders is the one guy who loves Mel Hall, by the way. Loves him. Deion Sanders, Mel Hall is godfather to one of Deion Sanders' kids.
Shut the fuck up.
I shit you not.
That's amazing.
Prime time, he said, please, Mel Hall, bring your jerry curl. and yeah.
Prime time Deion is...
Unbelievable.
If you ever thought
Deion
Deion Sanders made good decisions...
He looked up to Mel Hall. Everybody said it because he was a real flashy guy, Mel Hall. And we'll get into some of his flash because he's a crazy son of a bitch. This is the best here because I love Don Mattingly. Apparently, Don Mattingly finally snapped on him and told him to shut the fuck up for picking on Bernie Williams. And he had nothing to say to Mattingly, even though he could probably rip Mattingly apart. It just Mattingly had respect. You didn't talk back to him. Plus, if you talk back to Mattingly, that's his team.
Yeah, that's
your
Donnie
ass
baseball.
is on the street.
Yeah, you don't fuck around with Donnie baseball.
So he knew that. He knew better. While he was injured with a hamstring injury, Mel Hall gets into what is described as a violent clubhouse wrestling match with Ricky Henderson. Who fights Ricky Henderson? He's an alien space cadet
Battle
person.
of the Jerry Curls. That's
My
awesome.
God, juice was flying everywhere.
That's a greasy fight.
Incomprehensible phrases are flying all around. Everyone's talking in the third person. They're all just, Mel Hall says you're going to do this.
Spit everywhere.
Ricky Henderson, don't think so. And then they started tackling each other over the benches and shit.
That's awesome.
Otis Nixon had to pull him off of him. It was terrible. So that made me laugh a lot.
And Sanders is just in the corner going, "Go, Mel, go!"
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
It's so great. If you've ever seen Mel Hall's home run trot, holy shit, it's the slowest home run trot in the history of the world.
Just like rubbing it in.
His home run trot was once clocked at 33 seconds.
Get the fuck out of town.
33 seconds to get around the goddamn bases.
Holy shit.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. So
he just basically took the seventh inning stretch to run the bases.
But he would kind of shrug well, all right. And he'd just do this trot where I remember as a kid out in the yard, where you'd go through, I'd be playing wiffle ball and I'd go through the whole lineup being the Yankees lineup. It'd be like Steve Sachs and then this guy and that guy and then Mel Hall. And if you hit a home run with Mel Hall, you do the Mel Hall home run trot where you just kind of slowly
go
get
ahead
around
and sing
the
the
bases.
national anthem because this is going to take a while.
He would call teammate Steve Sachs a cracker to get a rise out of him, which I think is fucking great. Steve Sachs is a cracker if you've ever seen
As it gets,
He's a cracker. Steve Sachs says, quote, Mel flirted with danger. He was always on the edge. He liked the action. He liked to instigate. There were times when he was really fun to be around. He just had a great big laugh, but you just didn't know it was on the other side of the curtain. Just be careful. Don't get too close to him. Don't get too close. He was said to have 15 cars.
Wow.
15 cars, but yet always took a limo to the game.
What the
For
fuck?
some reason, because he's a jerk off. He lived in Trump Tower on the same floor as Donald Trump.
Oh my God!
Right down the hall from Donald Trump.
That right there should disqualify Donald as a fucking presidential
there's
candidate.
more with him. It's going to come back.
Are you shitting me?
Wait till you hear the dinner that Donald Trump had at one point.
Oh my God!
If you were considering, I don't know what your politics are.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't give a fuck.
give a fuck
as long
either.
as your politics are that stupid athlete criminals are funny, we're fucking friends. But if you were going to vote for Donald Trump, you might not after you hear this. So we'll put it this way, because he did something very funny. One of Mel Hall's friends said that he would immediately spend his paychecks said he would literally take linen sacks full of cash out from the bank over his shoulder, quote, shit. Like in the movies.
Like he robbed the
with
joint.
like a dollar sign on it. Picture him walk. He would like cash his paycheck from the Yankees.
He's the black Monopoly guy.
Yeah, like 130 grand on a paycheck. He's like, I'd like it in 20s. And those sacks back there. Yeah, you know, the drawstring job.
Couple of roll of fives.
Wow, unbelievable. He had 2 German shepherds that he hired a German trainer to teach attack commands to.
Because he's one of those assholes.
Got to be
authentic.
That wasn't enough for him. He had the 2 German shepherds that would attack on command.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, that's cool, but I need more. That's not exotic enough. I'm going to get 2 mountain lion cubs to live in my apartment in Trump Tower in Midtown fucking Manhattan. What an asshole. He would walk around the city with them.
With mountain lions on a fucking leash.
With mountain lion cubs. He once brought the lions to the Yankee Stadium clubhouse.
Oh, my God.
What is it, show and fucking tell day? Hey, guys, how you doing? I brought in this. Oh, well, I got lion cubs.
Wait till you meet Siegfried and Roy.
What a fucking lunatic. Finally, the mountain lions were confiscated from him.
Thank God.
And he was fined like over $100,000 by the authorities.
Let me go to the bank.
His quote, when asked about it by a reporter, I'm thinking about getting myself a grizzly bear.
Jesus Christ.
He doesn't get it, Mel Hall. Is what you're going to find when you keep coming back.
He's a fucking Mexican drug lord.
He doesn't get it.
No.
He just doesn't fucking get it. And this is
He thinks he's DMX.
Also brought a gun into the Yankee clubhouse.
Surprise.
Why?
Why not?
He's taking a limo to the stadium, getting right out, going in. There's security guards everywhere. What does he need a goddamn gun for in the clubhouse? Did he think...
He brought 2 fucking cubs in. Those are 2 loaded guns themselves.
Yeah, what did he think? Fucking Scott Sanderson was going to chinlock him? What was wrong with him? Like, Andy Hawkins is going to attack me. These were the worst Yankee teams, by the way, guys. These were the teams I remember watching, like, these long summers where I would just sit there and watch these Yankee games, and they were in last place, second to last place. Yeah. They were so bad. I remember Andy Hawkins in Comiskey Field. I believe it was Comiskey Park. Andy Hawkins pitched a no-hitter and lost 4-1. That's how fucking lousy they were. Like Jim Leyritz out in left field dropping fly balls.
Good God.
A disaster. They were so bad. It was Don Mattingly, like, nursing injuries and trying to play well, and a bunch of Mel Halls. Steve Balboni was in there.
Jesus.
Steve Balboni looks like the It's Time to Make the Donuts guy on HGH. Like, he's just this bald, looks like a 50-year-old, big, fat, bald Italian guy that would make a really good, crispy, saucy pizza for you.
A great flaky crust.
A real nice pie, but not a fucking first baseman or a designated hitter. Reportedly once had 17 motorcycles repossessed.
What
Mel
the
Hall.
fuck? Why does he have 17 motorcycles?
Who buys 17 motorcycles, A? And then he goes, I don't need those. Fuck, I'm not going to pay for them.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have them.
You guys take them back.
Let's see here. An unnamed teammate said that this is, by the way, my favorite goddamn quote in the world. Unnamed teammate said, Mel's weird. I mean, a lot of guys in baseball are weird, but Mel's weird.
Sounds like it. He has
Mel's
17 motorcycles, 2 cats, 2 giant fucking illegal cats. And he wants a grizzly bear.
He wants a grizzly bear. And Mel described all of these actions to a reporter when someone was asking him about it as, quote, me being Mel Hall.
Fuck yeah.
just me being Mel Hall. That's how Mel Hall rolls. See, third person. Him and Ricky Henderson together. Imagine how much third person be thrown around. Holy balls. He would go to the China Club in New York City and hire $1,400 a night bodyguard.
Wow.
This particular bodyguard, Jimmy McMillan, who you might remember from a few years ago as the rent's too damn high guy. Remember the guy during the elections?
Are you serious?
Rent's too damn high. They'd ask him, like, what do you think about, intricate policy question? He goes, rent's too damn high.
Wow,
that's
guy.
Him. He would hire this guy for $1,400 a night, $1,400 a night to go with him to these
clubs. Who gives
clubs.
a shit about the rent when you're making that kind of money?
Yeah, this guy ran for mayor and governor of New York.
All right.
And, yeah, he was out there. I mean, he was a famous, he was a fucking meme for a long time. I mean, he was out there. This guy, McMillan, says that Hall would, quote, get women out of the club and want to fuck them in the car.
Awesome.
So he would go into the club. He said Hall would give McMillan $300 to give to the DJ to get the DJ to play, quote, songs he could get up close to the women and grind on them.
Something I can rub my boner to.
Something I can rub my boner on. McMillan said he would give the DJ $10 and keep the rest for himself. Fuck you, Mel Hall. How great is that?
Oh, McMillan's the best.
Yeah, I love
that guy's awesome.
He said Mel Hall loves sex. Sex is what drove him. That's what McMillan said. And I'm saying it in the way he said the rent's too damn high. Mel Hall loves sex.
Sex drove him.
The rent for the sex is too damn high. He
should have called his driver sex because it drove him.
Oh my God! He said he was a young guy who made a lot of money real fast and wanted to buy his way through life.
Yeah,
that's
no
the way
doubt.
He described him.
I'm gonna guess that at the end of this he's broke, but don't tell me. Let's go.
Let's see here. He
is spending like a motherfucker.
Oh, there's some spending that's been going on through what I'm talking about. That that no one else knows about. Except for a particular family that we're going to get into momentarily in a moment. Let's see here. Buck Showalter, the old Yankee manager again, said that basically they got tired of the Bernie Williams thing, him bullying around Bernie Williams. He was a big prospect for them. They're like, don't ruin this guy psychologically.
Bernie kind of matters to us.
He matters in our future, and he said, quote, Mel was basically bullying Bernie, and we put an end to it, which was Mattingly. Then, apparently, there was an Old Timers Day game at Yankee Stadium. If you guys don't know, if you're not Yankee fans, whatever, a lot of people hate the Yankees, but if you grew up a Yankee fan...
With like Mudcat.
Old Timers Day is a big deal at Yankee Stadium. That's a big deal. We have a lot of reverence for our old stars, you know what I mean? So when Billy Martin used to come out, when guys like that would come out, Phil Rizzuto, you show goddamn respect for these guys. Elston Howard came out of the goddamn dugout, you show respect for him.
You take your fucking hat off.
You take your goddamn hat off. Apparently... Mel Hall trots out on the field during that, leans over to Buck Showalter and says, "Who are these old fucking guys?" Buck said, quote, "That's when I knew he had to go." I was like, yeah, that's beautiful. Goodbye, asshole.
Who are these old fucking guys?
So that's not a bad thing. Now, we're going to get into this next section of the story.
Yeah.
And we're going to go back to 1989 when he just gets to the Yankees.
Gotcha.
That's the year he was traded to the Yankees. A lot of this comes from an article. There's a few articles, but a lot of these really good details came out of an article called, quote, "The Many Crimes of Mel Hall." And the subtitle is, "He was a flamboyant player, a charismatic coach, and a sexual predator." It's a guy named
Those don't
Greg
go
Hanlon.
together.
No, they do. It's a bad cocktail at
one
that
of
point.
these things is not like the other. That's fucking great.
Not the three best things you want to put together. No. This is like the Steve Durbano Never on a Sunday drink that had, what was it? Tequila, Kahlua,
and that's
Grand
enough.
Marnier.
You don't even have to label anything else. You put fucking tequila and fucking Kahlua together, it's over.
Tequila, Kahlua, Grand Marnier, milk, and cola.
Oh, Christ.
This is a worse cocktail.
Read those again.
A flamboyant player, a charismatic coach, and a sexual predator. Pass the Grand Marnier. Fuck it, because I'd rather have that cocktail.
Can I sprinkle some milk in
this? Can I have more milk, please? Can you give me the spoiled one? You know that creamer that's been sitting on the diner counter for about 3.5 hours? Throw that in there. I don't give a shit at this point. So let's get this started.
Sexual predator.
He is playing for the Yankees now. Also, that's when he went to Japan. The Yankees didn't re-sign him, and apparently no one else in the league wanted him. And the more money he was making, $2 million a year was more than he was going to make in the States.
See you around.
So he goes to Japan. Before all this happens, this whole thing starts on June 11th, 1989. Okay, it's a Friday night game at Yankee Stadium. I've been to these Friday night games. They're great. The old stadium. This was in 89. This was
the house that Ruth built.
The dregs of the Yankees too. This was bad times for the Yankees. The place was half empty. There was shit. I mean, Dave Winfield had left even. It was just Mattingly and a bunch of scalps.
There's a scalper out front pissed because he can't sell his tickets.
Oh, there's no scalpers. A scalper would actually take your scalp in the South Bronx back then. 89 in the South Bronx was no fucking joke. This wasn't like, now where I'm sure there's cupcake shops and everything else. This was like, stay in a pack when you're going to your car.
This is when there was like no radio taped on windows so people wouldn't break into cars.
Absolutely. Yeah. You would do that when it was insane. Yeah, no radio.
Yeah.
This was exactly
take your radio out and fucking take the sign on your window.
There's a group on the right field line, seated on the right field line in the first row. It is a group of young ladies and the father taking a group of young ladies, his daughter, and a bunch of her friends.
Hell yeah.
One of her friends is a girl that through this story we're going to call Jennifer Diaz.
Oh, no.
Not her real name.
She's a big deal in this story.
This poor Jennifer Diaz girl. Her family might be worse than Mel Hall, actually. That's how shitty this whole story is shitty, and this is the worst father in the history of the world. He's worse. There's fathers that have molested their kids, but this guy's worse. I'm telling you. Fuck this guy, okay? Okay, so they're there. Every time Mel Hall would jog out, he was playing right field. Goddamn son of a bitch, why'd they put him in right field that night? Why couldn't one of the parade of Yankee managers that was going, because we'd have 3 a year in the late 80s, why not put him in left? It would have saved us a lot of trouble. This poor whole family here. Every time he would jog out, the girls would yell and scream and yell, can we have a ball? Can we have a ball? And I guess
I got 2 of them, girl.
He was playing a little game with them where he would like act like he was tossing it to him, but then he wouldn't, and he would smile.
What a dick.
He would smile coyly and run back and be like, "You want the ball? You want the ball?" And then he'd run away.
Charismatic and flamboyant nature.
Exactly, and that's what it was. His playfulness, and he wasn't aloof. They said like a lot of the other guys where they were just ignoring you.
He's a fucking sexual predator.
He's a sexual predator, which makes him friendly, oddly enough. So. Afterwards they leave, they never got a ball.
Right.
So the girl's father, not this Jennifer Diaz, not her father, the friend's father said, well, you know what you should do? You guys should write him a letter. Just write a letter. Mel Hall, go to Yankee Stadium and say, we're the girls that were on the side. You never gave us a ball. Can you send us an autographed ball?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he'll send you one.
Yeah.
So she said, yeah, what the hell, right? They're sitting around in the library at school.
Show them your tits.
Literally like 2 weeks later at the library at school studying. And they were
She's so young.
She's 15 years old.
Oh, my God.
She's 15 years old.
Oh, my God.
By the way, okay? Yeah, that's the thing here. We should write Mel Hall a letter.
Let's write him something.
They write him a letter, they send it off, they forget about it, and he's not going to write back. They just address it, Yankee Stadium, Mel Hall, send it off.
Zing it out.
South Bronx, there you go.
13 cents, bye-bye.
Soon after the letter, very soon, like days after the letter is sent off.
Like desperately soon?
A phone call comes to this young lady's house.
What the fuck?
From a person claiming to be Mel Hall. He said that he noticed her in the stands, he knew who she was, and he wanted to get to know her better. He invited her and her family to the next Yankee game. Says he gets lots of mail and he rarely opens it, so this must be destiny.
What the
That's
fuck?
what he tells her. She didn't believe him that it was Mel Hall.
Yeah.
She was like, get the fuck out. She thought it was her friends, but she had told her friends that she sent Mel Hall a letter.
Right.
So she's like, this is one of my friends messing with me.
Right.
She had just gotten back from the movies with one of her guy
she's
friends.
She's a skeptical 15-year-old?
Yeah, she's
I like her.
My friends are picking on me, you know what I mean? So she's like, no, never mind. So anyway, that goes, and apparently this goes on for like 2 hours. Or he would call and go, no, really, it's Mel Hall. And she'd be like, seriously, who is it? And he's like, it's fucking Mel Hall. Yeah. I want to know you better. It's destiny. I want to meet your daddy. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he's saying. And she's like, get out of here. Click, click. Finally, she tells her dad about this shit. And he's like, it's got to be a trick. You're smart, not being gullible, because the game has already started. And he's in the lineup tonight. So there's no way he's calling you. He said, actually, I'm DHing tonight, so I have a lot of time in between innings.
He's calling her from the fucking dugout phone?
He's in the
clubhouse. Get out of here.
He's going in the clubhouse between... No wonder why we suck so fucking bad. No wonder why the Yankees suck so goddamn bad.
He's running for
fucking Steve Balboni and Andy Hawkins and this fucking guy's trying to pick up teenagers in the fucking clubhouse. Why don't you go work on your swing, you dipshit?
Shit.
You 260 hitting asshole. Go take some cuts in the cage.
You got 7-year-old James at home going crazy throwing popcorn at a TV.
I'm losing my goddamn mind over here. My blood pressure's through the roof and I'm 9. And this asshole's trying to pick up teenagers.
You're crying into a Yankees jersey and this fuckface is trying to get laid.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
This childhood James is fucking livid right now. You have no idea.
He's screaming at a TV in Poughkeepsie.
Oh, absolutely. I'm in Wappingers Falls going, you son of a bitch. Why? So, he said it is him. They were still skeptical. It was like, wow, this guy's really good. He's a good scammer. He said he would prove it. By next at bat, he will tap on the plate 3 times.
What the
to signal
fuck?
them.
Who is he,
right?
Jeff Hornacek?
This is ridiculous. This is Carl Burnett over here. He's going to give her fucking...
He's
hey, Ma.
Yeah.
This is fucking ridiculous. So... This is how stupid these people are.
Telegraphing signals to a bitch through TVS.
The whole family gathers around the TV to see this 28-year-old professional athlete send a signal to their teenage daughter. Holy shit. At this point, I would be hiring a hitman.
Yeah.
There'd be someone going to kill him
and
for calling my dog.
Police.
Next time he called, I'd be like, hey, listen here, motherfucker. I swear to
She's
God.
15.
I will wrestle you down like Ricky Henderson. Don't think I won't, Mr. Zero. I heard about that. So the whole family gathers around. The first pitch, he doesn't do anything. They're all like, Jennifer, you're a douchebag. He didn't do it.
Right.
Second pitch, he taps on the plate 3 times and points the bat at the TV camera just to make sure.
Fuck?
Dude, that's like, who does that,
Wowza. Just so everybody knows, James is wearing a Yankees hat while we tape this.
Yeah, I
so
fucking love the
awesome.
Yankees. What do you want from me? I loved them growing up, but still, I will pick on them to death. I don't care. Don Mattingly's off limit.
Child molester.
Off limit. You can talk about anyone. You can't talk about Don Mattingly.
Darryl Strawberry.
I don't care about him.
Really?
He's a Met
All
first.
right.
Whatever. I like Darryl Strawberry, but he's not mine.
He's a Met.
You can't talk about Don Mattingly. You can't talk about Joe DiMaggio. Anybody, or Lou Gehrig. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Feel
You're
free.
fine.
This
Yeah.
one's a drunk. This one's
Yeah.
that. I mean, talk about the first skinny superstar in the history of this fucking country ever, and Joe DiMaggio, because he broke. Forget about it. Never
Who'd
mind.
Ty Cobb play for?
Tigers.
All right.
Tigers. Yeah, but not
Because he's a racist.
He's a racist. DiMaggio was
He's a horrible
wonderful
person.
There's some. Never mind. I was gonna say there's some great articles.
DiMaggio fucking
He was just
Marilyn
wonderful.
Monroe. That guy's an awesome man.
And he just put up with a lot of shit. A lot of shit. If you're an Italian guy out there and you don't know the history of what Joe DiMaggio went through, it was a lot of shit. So go back and look it up. And
All right.
yeah, this poor son of a bitch. Anyway,
Okay, go on.
So this poor girl,
So he
right?
points at the TV.
He then, after the game, calls the house and talks to Jennifer's mom.
Get out of town.
For hours.
It's called grooming.
He grooms the whole
Yeah,
family,
he grooms
including
everybody.
the father, the grandfather. He's grooming
Wowza.
everybody. He's calling her mother by the end of the call. That's how good of a scammer this is.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Jennifer says that Hall had the ability to manipulate and tell people what they want to hear.
Sounds like
and
it.
it's true.
Yeah.
He told the mom that despite his fame and wealth, he felt overwhelmed and alone in New York and was in need of a family. That's
It's called
what
a
he told her.
sexual predator.
Sexual predator. I swear to God, I think he was fucking the father, the mother, a little brother.
Burying all that Mel Dick and everybody.
There was like an aunt who's like 300 pounds and has 14 cats. He was giving her the dick too. I swear to God, this guy was just. So he invites the whole family to a Yankee game the next day. Okay, they all go limo to the house to pick them up. Always limos to the games. Okay, limo comes and picks them up. They arrive. He's got an autographed ball for her, like she asked for. Box seats for the whole family. Yankee jackets. Remember, like the satin snap-up jackets. Yankee
with the
jackets.
fucking blue and white cuff.
Yep. And the
sucked
NY.
yeah.
Exactly. One of those bad boys, like the coaches wore. One of those. Father tells him, "Hey, my daughter's 15, right? As this is the only normal action that anyone in this family takes.
Don't fuck her.
By the way, you're aware she's 15, correct?" Mel Hall said, "Ha ha ha, keep drinking your milk, kid." And they all laughed.
What?
That was that.
Fuck?
Problem diffused. No problem. Yeah, he made a joke about it. Well, she'll get bigger someday or whatever. And they all said, "Ha ha ha, nice jacket. Thanks, Mel. These are nice snaps. These sleeves are really nice." Ridiculous.
Drink your milk, kid. I'm going to try to break your hip later.
Well, you'll see what the family gets out of this shit, too. So Hall, the next day, it's a Sunday afternoon game. Next day after the game, he comes over to the family house in Fairfield, Connecticut.
Oh, my God.
Now, Fairfield is a fairly well-to-do area, but they're not well-to-do. They're a blue-collar family. Father works construction. Mother has a daycare that she runs out of the home.
He should know better, man.
I
feel like
he knows they're vulnerable.
I feel like he goes to his construction site, though, and is like, Mel Hall came over to my house last night. And they're like, why?
You know
he
what,
likes my daughter. Yeah, he's trying to fuck her, bro.
Yeah, but they
Stop
were all
that.
probably like, well, at least he's got money. I mean, that's the thing. It's like,
Yeah, just raise that beam.
hey, you better make sure, maybe he'll knock her up. You never know. Hey, you set up for life.
Then you set. Yeah,
These are meathead
exactly.
mooks,
Yeah.
I'm sure, these fucking Northeast, fucking no offense to construction guys. So a lot of them are cool, but a lot of them are fucking
I work
meatheads.
construction.
You
It's
know
not-
the guys you work with.
Yeah.
If you're the smart construction guy, think of all the people you work with and tell me if they're
You've got a
all
point right now.
upstanding,
No,
normal citizens.
not at all.
They're fucking jerk-offs and
There's a lot
criminals.
of fat dummies.
They're just worse criminals than Mel Hall, half these people. So anyway, so he pulls up in a limo.
Yep.
The family's outside taking pictures of it. I mean, that's how starstruck they are. They're taking pictures of his arrival like he's, a fucking visiting dignitary.
Unbelievable.
So Friends are, making fun of her because she's saying this is happening. They're like, they don't think she's telling the truth, blah, blah, blah. He said that he came to protect her and that destiny had brought them into each other's lives. He keeps saying destiny to her.
Destiny is a big word.
And he keeps saying it. The next day he told her he loved her. So Mel moves fast.
Yeah.
Mel moves quick.
Mel's a sexual predator.
Came over every night after the games.
What the fuck?
Game's over like 10 o'clock. He drives from the Bronx to Fairfield, Connecticut.
To see a 15-year-old.
To hang out till 2 in the morning talking to a 15-year-old.
What
right?
the fuck could they possibly be
Weird.
talking about?
He starts living there. Now, the girl's not even really 100% into him at this point. She thinks it's cool that he's nice and he's
imposing.
Like, I don't know, like
he just shows up.
Yeah, she's 15. She doesn't have a concept of like this is a highly really down a fast lane adult relationship that she's 15 years old. She's a kid. Like she just doesn't process it. She's a virgin at this point. Yeah, she's a virgin at this point. She's just happy that a famous person that she thinks is cool is paying attention to her. She doesn't even know what's gonna. I mean, it's.
Meanwhile, she doesn't realize this man's got a fucking apartment in Trump Tower.
Yeah.
And he's coming to Fairfield, Connecticut.
And he's sleeping on their living room floor.
Unbelievable.
He sleeps on their living room floor. That's where he lives. He has a Trump Tower apartment. This guy goes out of his way to groom. I will say that about him.
Doubt.
Some of these guys are real lazy. He doesn't just show up with some candy.
He's really
this guy will sleep on your parents' living room floor.
Sleep on the hardwood.
Wow, I mean, it's impressive.
It snows in Connecticut.
There's
it's
pictures.
Fucking cold.
I saw pictures of him like under the blankets, like smiling with like a parents sitting in the background, her sleeping next to him. Insane, right?
Oh my God.
Told his family that he was in love with her. But he's going to keep her pure, he says, until she's 18. Then he's going to marry her and then fucking defile her.
Game's on.
Then game on. Bought Jennifer a new convertible Chevy Cavalier when she was 15. Too young to drive. Yeah. Just have a new car.
Yeah, she's like a little Bow Wow.
Yeah. Gets the whole family tickets to every game. Sends a limo for them every game. I mean, it's really nuts. And buys the father a Corvette convertible. You son of a bitch, you sold your fucking daughter for a Corvette convertible. You scummy piece of shit.
And for a man to sleep on your floor. How much is your daughter's pussy worth?
And this girl is just as mad at her family, probably more than I am.
She should be.
She's pissed at them.
Good.
She's like, she tells them, you sold out.
You sold me out for an 89 Corvette. It's not even a good one.
Yeah. One morning, bulldozers showed up and started digging an in-ground pool. They were like, "Who are the bulldozers?" They were like, "Oh, man, there's an in-ground pool coming, all paid for already. Paid up to Mel Hall." All this. But they were like, "Wow, that's amazing." Turns out later on, it's because he's really possessive and didn't want her to go to the beach anymore.
Wow!
So he built an in-ground pool and was like, "You don't have to go to the beach. You got a pool now, bitch."
You don't take the sand. You don't take sand to the beach. You take the beach to your sand.
That's how crazy
what
he
you
is.
do.
Gave her a diamond ring. Called it a promise ring. Because she wasn't ready to commit yet, so he said, "We'll call it a promise ring for now, and then when you're ready, we'll call it an engagement ring."
Promise your pussy to me when you're 18.
You know how all of these things that I just told you with them? That's a 2-week time frame.
Wow!
That is
in 2 weeks they got a car.
First phone call.
What the fuck?
From first phone call to promise ring, Corvette sleeping on the floor,
bulldozers,
construction going on in the backyard. There's Mexicans coming over. 2 weeks. 2 cars are brought in, convertibles every 2 weeks. So this is the life has changed for these people in 2 weeks just because his daughter said, "Hey, can I have an autographed baseball?"
Way to go, Pop. You should call him.
You should call him.
You should send him a note. Fuck you, Dad.
Damn it. So Jennifer said, quote, "It was a whirlwind. Everything went by. Everything went really fast, but I think that's what his intention is, to keep everything moving. I think he sees that opportunity. He was always talking about the whole destiny thing because I had so many questions and I wasn't all in at that point." So he was just...
He's like a magician.
I love how
the magic trick is my dick in your vagina, and I just have to keep moving things around to keep your eyes on a swivel so that you don't see it happen.
I find it incredible that the kid is way smarter than the parents about this. She's the only one who's got some reservations. The parents are like, "This is great. Hey,
Dad's
hop in the
by the
Corvette."
reflection in the pool.
He's pulling up to the construction site in his Corvette going, "Look what I got, guys." And they're like, "See, told you." Mike from the fucking construction line is like, "Hey, guys, hey, look at this. Look at fucking Fancy over here with his Corvette. What you doing, some side jobs? You building a couple decks out in New Haven? What you doing over there, buddy?" Sorry.
That's a great longshoreman. I dig it.
The mom closes the daycare because Mel Hall's living on the living room floor, so you can't exactly have kids running over. The dad stays working, but the family is pretty much financially dependent on Hall.
Tripping over the log in the living room.
Absolutely. Jennifer says, quote, they sold out. They turned their brain off for 3 years. They were starstruck. They trusted him. He was calling my mom mother, and she thought she was helping this New York Yankee who needed a family and needed a home and needed care and love because he didn't get it from his family. Wow. She felt a responsibility to take care of this Yankee and trusted him. And trusted him so much that he had sex with her on the living room floor while her father was on the couch asleep 3 feet away. I've seen the pictures of the living room.
Oh, God.
He's 2 feet away.
God.
3 feet away when she's 15 years old.
Oh, God.
They move into the master bedroom and push the parents into Jennifer's old room.
Oh, my God.
They're sleeping in the kid's bedroom while this guy is sleeping in the master bedroom. Imagine the mother gathering her toiletries out of the vanity in there in her bedroom to go, no, it's okay. I'll just use the hall bathroom.
We'll just move into the room with
I'll use the hall bathroom.
The guy's, God damn it.
She's got Scott Baio on the wall. It's fine. It's beautiful.
You get it. You knew where
I
was
Kirk
going.
Cameron is where
Kirk
you were
Cameron,
going.
that's where I was going.
You know,
Kirk
she's
Cameron
got
and
Kirk
Scott
Cameron
Baio on the
very
wall.
nice. So
Kids bop and
it's
shit
no
like
problem.
that. It'll be
It's
all
no
right.
problem.
We'll
Imagine
sleep in
that.
there with Debbie Gibson.
She's clearing out her lotions and her makeup foundation. She's like, it's fine. It's fine. Nope, this is normal. He needs family. He needs love.
Right.
He needs love. He needs to sleep in a bigger bedroom with my 15-year-old daughter. Jesus.
Put all this oil of Olay in there.
So he starts, I mean, they're such a couple.
Yeah.
The family comes to the games every night. It's normal. There's a picture of them as a couple in the Yankee yearbook.
Oh, my God.
Like in the section with the wives and player families and shit. It's him and her.
Here's Don Mattingly and his of-age wife. And then here's Mel Hall with a 15-year-old.
15-year-old at the prom was the picture. The 1991 yearbook.
Holy
is them,
shit.
Like, and I've seen the picture, him smiling, he's behind her, arms around her, she's in
It says, like, under the sea at the bottom of the fucking...
Holy shit. I wish he was under the sea at this point. And nobody thought it was weird that this was going on because her family was there. So everybody was like, oh, well, her family's there, so it must be
totally
fine.
okay with it.
Jim Leyritz, who was another fucking... First of all, he hit a big home run in the 96 World Series, so I'll always love him for that. But he went and did some wacky shit, too. We'll probably end up revisiting Jim Leyritz someday. A lot of these guys, we talked about Strawberry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of revisits later on here. But Leyritz, we'll talk about probably in a year or two. We'll get to Jim Leyritz. He said, quote, whenever I saw her with him, they were usually there, meaning the family. I never saw it as a child predator type thing. He was almost a father figure to her. He never talked nasty or dirty about her. There was a respect factor there. Oh, yeah, that's creepy. If there's a guy hanging out with a female, first of all, if she's underage, he's creepy. If he's hanging out with a female not talking dirty about her in front of his ball player friends in the clubhouse, he's probably a creepy motherfucker who wants to do shit that's too weird to talk about in front of the other guys.
If he talks dirty about her, that's a signifier that he's got some shit going on.
Quote, Mel Hall's weird. Unnamed teammate. So, he would touch her sexually and she would pretend to sleep. This was before they had sex. That she would, like, pretend to sleep and he would kind of diddle her up a little bit. And she never thought anything was wrong with this because she's a kid. She just was, didn't understand it.
Yeah.
He of course told the parents that he wasn't going to do anything until she was 18. Of
course.
Mother made a deal with him in order to have him not have sex with her till she was 18. Mother made a deal, unbeknownst to Jennifer, by the way.
Oh my God.
They're making deals
They're
about
brokering shit.
They're brokering shit. Listen to this. This is incredible. Mother had a deal with him that he could go sleep with other women, do whatever he wanted to on the road or do whatever he needed to do, as long as when she was 18, he married the daughter and took care of the family.
Wow.
That's what she said.
What a selfish bitch.
Jennifer didn't know about this deal.
What a selfish bitch.
Wow. These people are fucking horrible. They're horrible. They would have been better off leaving her just with wolves. They would have been better off.
They essentially participated in raping her.
Yeah. She would have been better off raised by raccoons in the forest than these people. Honestly.
For real. She is...
Raccoons wouldn't actively sell her out anyway for like a Corvette. You couldn't sway a family of raccoons with a Corvette.
Or for they wouldn't even take a nest full of acorns.
No, maybe a package of old hot dogs, but not Corvettes. So this fucking...
They essentially raped her. That is incredible.
Pretty much. So this goddamn idiot, this is when he starts getting super possessive and jealous of her. Yeah. He is jealous, really jealous of a 15-year-old boy who's a sophomore in the high school, who she used to like back in the day at some point.
Well, they've got shit in common. They can talk.
They kind of go to school together. He doesn't like play for the Yankees or like have mountain lions as pets.
Sleep in your parents' bed.
Sleep in the parents' bed. Doesn't buy in-ground pools for the. It's really weird. So, and if you're a guy when you're 15, suppose you like this girl. Right. How do you compete with that?
No, there's no way.
Like you're looking at it going, you don't look at it as childish. You're going, this guy's gave the father a Corvette, is digging them a pool, gets some limo rides to the stadium every day.
I've got a student loan for a community college.
I have like a GT Pro Performer. It's like now 1990.
A Pro.
It's got pegs on the back she could stand on. You know, I mean, that's something. I can take her around in that. But other than that, I'm pretty fucked here. Told her that he got rid of all of her friends that he found threatening, like weeded through the friends, left her with a few that he didn't think were threatening.
She ain't gonna fuck that one.
Yeah, she's not gonna fuck him. That girl is fine. Told her not to go to the beach. Didn't like people looking at her. Shit like that. Like I said with the pool. She said about the whole situation, Jennifer, this was in testimony later on that comes up, and I'll tell you when she testifies against him. It's not at the actual trial.
This is systematic.
This is systematic, and I'm telling you this whole story because what he got convicted for is a mirror of this, and there's not as much information, but this is what happened there, too, because it's exactly the same thing. We'll get into that. But she said, quote, it was all Mel Hall all the time. Anytime he left on the road, he would reprimand me and tell me not to see anybody or talk to anybody or go anywhere or not to do anything, but basically wait for his calls.
Wow.
She said that in court. That doesn't sound good.
Sit around the pool. Go for a ride with your dad in the Corvette.
That's it. Go for a ride with your dad, hop in the old Chevy Cavalier and fucking go down to the old construction site and have lunch with your dad's friends there and have them regale you. You can regale them with Mel Hall stories.
I'll be back after this 4-game series against the Giants.
Buys her a diamond necklace with a 27 on it, which was his jersey number.
Wow.
Which is, buys her that.
That's my property.
And a bracelet that reads Mel.
Jesus.
So he is locking it down.
Yeah.
Wanted to propose to her at the school dance in front of everyone, and told her about it, and she said no, please.
Yeah,
she
please
was too
don't
embarrassed,
embarrass me.
basically.
Yeah.
But he wanted to lay claim. Would lock her in the closet.
Oh, you little motherfuckers!
Yeah, everybody here.
This is my girl.
This is my girl. I'll dig pools in all your yards. You have no idea. Got in a guy's face in a restaurant and like started a fight with a guy that was apparently looking at her in a restaurant.
Wow.
Locked her in a closet when he didn't like her clothes.
Holy shit. He's like a terrible stepfather.
He sends her this apology note, which she saved all the notes, all the shit she saved.
Awesome.
That's why she knows. It's the apology note for this says, quote, we'll do in their own words. Mel Hall apology note here. Mel Hall apology note in their own words. Quote, baby, when I ask you to change, it's because I love you. I know sometimes I'm a little tough, but no one loves you better or more. Mel.
You hit it on the head right at the beginning, Mel. Baby. She's a fucking baby.
Baby? Yeah, don't use that word if your girlfriend's 15.
She's 15. Don't call her baby.
He trains in Florida in the winter of 91-92. He decides he wants to train down there. The family fucking moves to Florida. Jennifer switches schools. They move to Florida to be close to Mel.
Wow.
The whole family. That's how locked in he has them.
That's rearranging your entire life.
For the winter. Season starts. He has her move into Trump Tower with him now, okay, during the season. 2 months before school is out, in her senior year, he talks her into dropping out because he says, you don't need a diploma. You got me. I'll take care of you. What do you need a high school diploma if you don't need an education?
No, you're buying fucking mountain lions. I need a diploma.
This girl still does not have a high school diploma.
You're still talking about a fucking...
Thanks, Mel.
No, you're talking about buying a grizzly bear. Yeah. I need a diploma.
He just left her. He wants a... She starts to notice these things.
Harley Davidson just came to pick up 17 motorcycles
yeah,
now.
You know anything about these 17 motorcycles?
I've got to get a diploma.
I have never seen a flatbed that big, is what I'm saying. That's all. I never saw one that big that they took it away on. So limo driver is told to keep an eye on her, basically. Jeez. She's just a Rapunzel up there in the tower. But one little outing they had was a very, very nice dinner, nice couple's dinner with him, Mel Hall, Jennifer, his, at this point, 16, 17-year-old girlfriend who's living with him in Trump Tower, and none other than Donald Trump and Marla Maples.
Jesus Christ.
Real nice dinner together. Apparently Trump and Mel were pals all the way. All the way. They were pals. And
took them to Chuck E. Cheese or some shit.
Unfucking real.
What the fuck,
At this point, she starts getting mad. So, yeah, thanks, yeah, nice. That's what I mean. So that's how...
Way to facilitate, Donald.
Whatever your political affiliation is, that's the kind of judgment we're looking at.
Donald Trump didn't stand up for a young girl's rights.
That's...
Jesus, what an asshole.
So at this point, she starts noticing that, like, he goes to Atlanta to hang out with Deion Sanders and goes to strip clubs, and he's like he goes to the gym for 5 hours.
This is Deion on coke and shit.
Oh,
this is when Deion was crazy.
Yeah, this is, and Mel Hall, they're probably two peas in a pod.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
So at this point, she's mad. She thinks he's cheating. They're in Florida.
She's probably right.
Well, they're in Florida. She knows where he's going to be, drives to a Florida hotel where she knows he is, and sees him in the parking lot having a really heated altercation with another woman. Type of altercation you only have with someone you are involved with.
Yeah.
I give this girl credit. She's got balls, this Jennifer Diaz. She's the smartest one in the whole story.
Yeah.
She's the only one with any fucking balls.
She confronts them. Tell me she
gets
does.
out,
yes.
goes batshit on him.
Oh, a 17-year-old.
Tells him to go fuck himself up and down. Take your Jerry curl having ass. Hope your fucking lion cubs eat you. Go stick yourself up Donald Trump's asshole.
Hope you get a grizzly bear and it kills you.
So, yeah, exactly. So, that was it. She cut it off. This is how smart this girl is. She's cut
brilliant.
it off. Told the family, I guess she was so upset that even this piece of shit family even said, okay, yeah, you don't have to see him anymore.
Yeah.
So first they were like, oh, whoa, what are we talking about?
Wait. I just got my car waxed.
She spoke with him only once more on the phone. That was it.
She was done.
That's how done she was.
She closed it off. Yeah. Good for her. At 17, she
had the balls to do that and the smarts to do that.
Brilliant
more
girl.
Than her family, more than any of these other people in this whole story. Hats off to you,
Good
Jennifer
girl.
Diaz. Never saw her again. Never saw him again until she testified against him.
Good for her. I hope my daughter's half as smart.
No shit, right? Good God, this is funny too. I just have to throw this in here. It has nothing to do with this, but when his career comes to an end now, we'll talk. He goes to San Francisco. 3 hits and 25 at bats. Not allowed in Canada. He's a disaster. With San Francisco, they were using him as a pinch hitter.
All right.
He left. He said he retired. He said, quote, pinch hitting is a vital role, but I will never accept it. Well, how about you got no choice, asshole? Have fun not playing baseball.
Sorry about that.
So his career's over, and he says, quote, in their own words, here we go, guys. Quote, and I'm going to give you this is a fluffy, nice blue, cloudy, nice day quote here, because then it's going to take a real hard turn. He's going to get what he fucking deserves in a minute. It's coming up, so don't worry, guys. He said, quote, in their own words, my career lasted over 13 years in the MLB. I was taught to fight, not to give up, to win. I taught many teams, all winners, all nationally ranked all-star students. My life has been wonderful. So that's what he said when he retired. He was feeling good about himself.
Life has been wonderful.
Life has been wonderful, and it was wonderful until June 21st, 2007, when he's arrested. In Louisville, Texas, by Richmond Hills Police Department.
Should have been arrested in New York City.
He should have been arrested a lot, because this was not the only thing here. The Richland Hills Police Department received a report in May of 2007 from an adult female at that point that said that he had sexually assaulted her back in 1999 when he was her basketball coach. We'll get into this story. Another victim that was also under 14 was also named in the report. Both these girls at the time, one was 14, one was 12.
Good girls.
Let's get into this here. And I mean, so he's done all of this. He's now arrested for the most horrific crimes you can fucking commit. Murder is not as bad as this. He's arrested for sexual assault of a person under 14, aggravated sexual assault of a minor under the age of 14, which carries a possibility of a life sentence.
Good.
He's the biggest scumbag in the world.
Richland Hills?
Richland Hills, Texas. It's in Texas. It's in the Fort Worth area. They are, I mean, there's children with lives shattered, okay? There is this guy who's in jail. He's a mess. There's these kids' families. There's all this horrible shit, and I feel bad. I feel bad for all of them,
Every
Jimmy.
time you say,
I feel bad
so bad.
But not as bad as I feel for these poor fucking people named Mel Hall that I found. Like Mel Hall, the lecturer in psychology at Staffordshire University. an award leader for the Psychology and Criminology Award. Nice guy.
Staffordshire, that's England.
That's England.
Poor guy.
Mel Hall, the CEO of Specialty Care, the nation's leading provider of clinical services to more than 825 hospitals in 44 states,
Everybody
Puerto Rico, and Germany.
A child molester, Mel.
Poor Mel Hall Transport Limited, 3960 Commerce Road in London, Ontario. The trucking company has about 25 employees. You look
Probably
him up.
Gets a lot of emails about asking for a Corvette.
Mel Hall, the general manager for human resources, general affairs for Mitsubishi Motors North America Inc. in Bloomington, Illinois.
Have you got a daughter, Mel?
The 16th annual Mel Hall Memorial Car Race in Maryville, Tennessee at the Raceway. There's also a house for sale in Maryville, Tennessee at 586 Mel Hall Road. You want to live on fucking Mel Hall Road?
You.
I don't want to remember him either.
How the fuck do they have a road named after
Mel Hall, the project manager at Comcast Cable in Philadelphia.
Christ.
The worst ones of all, Mel Hall, the girls' athletic coordinator at College Station Middle School in College Station, Texas.
How much do you want to bet he got so many background checks?
And even worse than that, Mel Hall, who teaches advanced placement biology at Bogalusa High School in Bogalusa, California, or Louisiana.
Unbelievable.
Holy shit,
the
those
FBI
poor
has so many calls about
people.
You.
So that's who I feel bad for, are those people who come up on a goddamn Google search of Mel. Because if you go, hey, I want to look at my kid's coach here, and you go, Mel Hall convicted of what the fuck? He raped what? What the fuck? Oh my God, is that? Oh no, wait, never mind. That's a white lady. Mel Hall is a white lady in College Station, Texas. She seems like a lovely person. She looked very nice. I think they were the Lady Panthers or Lady Cubs. Lady Cubs. I don't know.
Sounds right.
So this is from the article, Mel Hall is not a nice man, which is my favorite article. He's released from jail the next day after being arrested on $35,000 bond for sexual assault of a child under 17 and aggravated sexual assault of a child under 14.
He got out the next day.
Yeah. In 98, he met these people, met this family exact same way at a basketball tournament, though, this time.
He's the coach.
He was just scouting.
Oh, okay.
Grooming,
right.
Scouting
and grooming sounds very
scouting
similar.
To groom. That's his scouting's an awful lot like grooming like that. Father asked the guy for baseball tips for his son. You figure, hey, he's a major leaguer. Hall instead said, I see a lot of basketball talent in your daughter there.
Oh boy.
I'm looking to start a team. I'd really like to have her on my team. Soon
me and her.
Very soon he said he was building a house in a nearby suburb, so he started living with them.
Oh, my God.
You guys know how the rest of the fucking story goes, because we already said it.
Hey, why don't you sleep in your daughter's room and we'll sleep in yours?
Before you know it, the mother's clearing out the fucking lotion out of her vanity, and things are about to go down. Taking the candles out from around the tub, you know what I mean?
You sleep in the room with the Backstreet Boy posters. This was in 99?
This was 98.
98.
This happened.
All right.
She said they were around.
Yeah.
She said he exposed himself first to her and her little brother while the parents were away. The little brother testified in court that he thought it was a game. That's why he never said anything, because he didn't fucking know what it was.
It's a game.
But I'm surprised he didn't offer to play that game with somebody else.
Yeah.
Hey, take your dick out. Let's play a game. Like at 8 years old.
It's a hell of a game.
Apparently started to touch
wins?
her. Yeah, who wins? Nobody. The answer?
Everybody
nobody.
loses.
Everyone's a loser. Every fucking one of you. Started to touch her and showed her how to perform oral sex, which I hope he didn't show her on the little brother. I don't know how that worked, but would take her to his apartment that he shared with his girlfriend, and he had an infant son at this point,
my God.
to show her porn.
He's such an awful person.
She said in court, quote, I trusted him. I honestly had no idea that there was anything inappropriate at the time. I looked up to him. I just thought this is how normal people act. Because she's a child and she doesn't fucking know any better.
She hasn't read that Mel Hall is a bad man
She
yet.
doesn't know that Mel Hall is not a nice man. Just read about his treatment of Bernie Williams and Mountain Lions and Ricky Henderson and you're fine. So on Tuesday, June 14th, 2009, he is found guilty.
Thank God.
Thank you. Jesus. Thank you,
Way to
Texas
go, Texas.
justice system, for once. You guys are good. Found guilty of 3 counts of aggravated assault of a child, 2 counts of indecency with a child. Jury took less than 90 minutes to convict him.
Wow.
Good.
That's fast.
He faced up to life, and sentencing hearing began later in the day. They don't fuck around.
Wow.
Sentence there.
Go sit over there and we'll get to you in a minute.
During this sentencing testimony, that's when you have people testifying for and against his character. His ex-wife and 2 daughters testified on his behalf. Ex-wife loves him. Daughter Bianca Hall said, quote, "My dad would not do that," and told the court how much she loves and trusts him. There was also other people that testified. Guess who testified against him?
Come in,
old
Diaz.
Jennifer Diaz. You know who wasn't there? Her family. And they said they tried to use that against her. They tried to say she was lying by going, even your family said they didn't think you guys were having sex because the family had to deal with him. To not
they're
fuck her.
such dicks.
So she said, yeah, I know. That's why I'm here alone, and I have problems with my family because they let a fucking grown man fuck me in the living room. They gave up their bedroom for this.
And when I snored on the couch.
So, also another girl that said Hall touched her inappropriately and told her he wanted to have sex with her when he was their coach. Another woman testified, said that Hall would watch her take batting practice when he was coaching her in softball and make crude comments and tell her that he wanted to have sex with her.
What the fuck?
Another woman testified, said that when he was her softball coach at the end of the season pool party, he grabbed her around the waist and made lewd noises at her and said he just grabbed me how I thought was inappropriate at the time. And that was all the same girl.
Great swing. I like your ass in them pants.
So,
I'm 12, asshole.
It's amazing, man. And another teammate of the girl that he is on trial for testified that he also did inappropriate things with her. The list was never fucking ending.
I hate Mel Hall.
I hate Mel Hall. That should be the name of this episode. I think it's good. I hate Mel Hall.
I hate Mel Hall.
So, June 15th of goddamn that week of 2009, he is sentenced to 45 years in prison.
Ouch.
That's a stiff one.
The judge also hates Mel Hall.
That judge rightfully hates Mel Hall. He has to serve 22 and a half of that. So he's in there for a while.
Whoa. 2016, that's 7, so he's still got fucking 15 years
2009.
To go.
Yeah, he's in there. Jury took less than an hour to decide sentencing. They were like, in less than 90 minutes, they're like, yes, he's a scumbag. Yes, we want him away for a long fucking time.
They took 90 minutes to convict him, and how long 60 minutes to sentence?
Less than 60 minutes.
So they're like, we're going to take lunch. Come back in 45. We've already got our verdict.
And the poor daughter is sitting there like, the poor his daughter, Mel Hall's daughter's crying because she thinks her dad's innocent the whole time. The prosecutor, Kim D'Avignon, I don't know how the fuck you say that, said, quote, "We believe the verdict does on some level show that the jury understood. They looked in these girls' eyes and they said, this is worth 40 years. And we agree with them.
On some level. I think they're on the right level.
You know what? Crime and Sports agrees with them, too.
Fuck yes.
Judge, 40 years. Good for you. 45 years. Eat a dick, Mel Hall. So the defense...
You, sir, can fuck off.
You, sir, can fuck off, as they would say in a foreign court. The defense had the balls to argue that Hall was, quote, a good man who mentored a lot of athletes and still had a lot of good to do.
They haven't read enough articles.
They have not read any of this stuff. Defense attorney Brady Wyatt said, quote, "For all the good this man has done in his life,
what the fuck?
It seems like this was an excessive verdict." Golly. No, it's not.
Lawyers are fucking way too high paid.
He is convicted of raping a 12-year-old. There's
no verdict
anything.
there's no sentence that is stiff enough.
He says, this is we're going to get into some serious in their own words here. This is amazing. He says, quote, in their own words,
all right.
Quote, "I will fight to prove my innocence. To all my social media haters, keep hating. If you know me at all, you know I'll be back. In 2016, I have national broadcasters ready to tell my story. I've been humbled by this setback for sure. With the support of my wife and others, I will overcome this. It's all about the truth. Let it be known that Mel Hall is innocent and the truth will set me free."
Wow. I'll give you 2 worldwide broadcasters that tell you, Mel, to go fuck yourself,
You
sir.
can eat a dick,
For
Mel
real.
Hall. So we're counterbalancing whatever national broadcasters might say.
Bring them out of the woodwork, because I'll talk to them.
And all the Crime and Sports listeners, I'm sure all hate you too at this point. And if you look at articles about him, blog posts and shit, there are tons of comments going, "This is bullshit. He didn't do a fucking thing." He has a lot of supporters, man. This is insane. He says another in their own words, quote, "It's been over 6 years since my sentence. Although I've been quiet, we've been working on my appeal. In 2016, all questions will be answered, all secrets revealed. All my life, I've worked hard to be the best. Second was never good enough, always beating the odds. For those supporters who know me and believe in me, thank you. I must tell you, I would never hurt a child. I've taught for years and been very successful. The truth will come out.
Oh boy, we're halfway through this year, Mel.
Now,
can't wait to hear them.
If you, maybe want to talk to Mel Hall yourself,
please do.
You can write to Mel Hall.
I beg you.
And I have the address. And guys, please write to Mel Hall.
Yes.
And if you do, tell us about it.
Yes.
Write to Mel Hall. Let's all call him a piece of shit. That's the whole crime and sports universe here. We'll get into. You can reach him at Melvin Hall, 158-1384-2661. F as in Frank, M as in Mary. 2054, Tennessee Colony, Texas 75884. So
that's an address you deserve.
You deserve that address.
That's a great address.
No human being could ever remember in the history of the world.
Yeah.
And so he is locked up there. They're appealing whenever who gives a shit. Yeah. You're not getting off. A bunch of you fucked a 12-year-old, and she's told everyone you did it. You're done. You're going to prison.
Enjoy the toilet booze, cocksucker.
Yeah. Well, what kind of defense do you have? Well, there's no DNA. No, there's 18 12-year-olds that all say you did it.
They have ruined lives thanks to you.
Yeah, you should have found one 18-year-old instead
of
18 12-year-old.
You have one that was 15 who doesn't talk to her entire family because of you.
So, yes, this complete and utter piece of garbage is there, and that's Mel Hall, folks. I mean, good God, Jesus Christ, what a fucking
He's
disaster.
where he belongs to be.
That was a journey. Yeah. I mean, this is a long episode, too. Yeah. We're at like an hour 20 now. It's a long episode. And it had to be. Good God. He's got mountain lions. He's crazy, this fucking guy.
How can we skip that Donald Trump shit?
17 motorcycles being repossessed. He's tackling Ricky Henderson. He's taking limos to the ball. But he's a crazy person.
Poor Stubblebine.
He is like Eddie Johnson that doesn't mean well at all, ever. Not even once.
He doesn't give a shit.
Like, he just doesn't even care. He's just an asshole. So, I mean, we hope you enjoyed Mel Hall because he's a whack job. Yeah. I had a good time with him. He's crazy. We would want to plug one thing also, too, before we get into our social media stuff. If you would like to see Jimmy and myself do stand-up comedy what we do, we will be at the Tempe Improv in Tempe, Arizona, here in Phoenix. If you want to come see us, was it July 6th, I believe?
I believe that's right.
It's the first Wednesday in July.
Yep.
It's called Speakeasy at the Improv. If you look on the website, you can buy tickets now. But if you are a Crime and Sports listener, we have a very special thing for you here. Crime and Sports listeners, you can use the code Crime and Sports. Won't be active yet. Give it about a week or so. There's time. That's July 6th. But you can use the promo code Crime and Sports. You can do it at the ticket booth.
Free tickets!
Free tickets. Come on in and see Jimmy. Yes. Come on in and see the Jimmies here. I'm headlining. Jimmy Whisman will be featuring, so you're going to get to see us for a whole shitload of time.
Yes.
It's a really good time. Come on out.
It's
free
just
night
us.
Of comedy.
And then Brian Mullen.
It's just us and a guy named Brian Mullen, who's a real, just a garbage human being, that Brian Mullen. Now, we love Brian Mullen. He's putting on the show that night. It's his kind of night at the Improv. Yeah. And he's a big fan of the show, actually.
Yeah.
He texts us. I get texts at 2 o'clock in the morning, every Tuesday morning at 2 o'clock in the morning going, man, that guy's a real piece of garbage, dude. What the fuck's up with that? So thank you, Brian. And please follow us.
Brian just hasn't been arrested yet and didn't play professional sports. Otherwise, we'd talk about him, too.
If he gets arrested, we might make an exception.
Because he's a professional sports fan.
He's a fan. What the hell? Why not? So follow us on social media, please. It's at Crime and Sports on Twitter. crimeinsports@gmail.com is our email. Facebook.com/Crime and Sports. Jimmy, you want to hit him with the social media for you?
Jimmy Whisman. You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I don't do Snapchat yet. Whatever.
You're not 12 and a girl.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, yeah.
So, whatever. Follow me.
You'd be looking for girls that Mel Hall would be interested in if you're on Snapchat too much.
Trying not to get in trouble.
That means Jimmy's normally is not a diddler, guys.
That
so
Snapchat is a confusing piece of shit, is what it is.
You can find me at Jimmy P is funny all over, James Pietragallo on Facebook and all that shit. You can find me there. Friend me, say hello. Guys, we love you so much.
Thanks so much for listening.
Really, thank you guys. And like we said, we don't have a big network. No. We don't have any of this stuff. This Huffington Post article is the first, any kind of pub that we've gotten. Every other listener that we've gotten a lot of them in a lot of different countries.
It's impressive.
It's really awesome, and it's because of you guys. It's because you guys have spread us around, and we love you for it.
So tell 6 friends.
Tell a bunch of friends, and just Crime and Sports movement. We love you guys.
Let's
and iTunes reviews, keep it going, and this is going to keep getting better and better, guys. Live from the Crime and Sports studios. Thank you guys so much. We will see
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey. Everyone out there should listen to Small Town Murder. Yeah. You really should, mainly because you never know who's next door. Oh. And that's the point of this show, really. You never know who is next door. You never know what's going to happen on Small Town Murder. That's what makes it so wonderful. The only thing you do know is that people are going to die, and we're probably going to make jokes about it. That's it. That's all we can promise you. We dig into these towns. We see what makes them tick, from local legends to scandals they may have had. And, of course, the biggest scandals of all, horrible murders that take place there. And we put our, what I feel is a completely appropriate comedic spin on the whole thing. And you know you need a laugh right now. So get in there, listen to Small Town Murder, follow Small Town Murder on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Small Town Murder early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.